Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a follow-up on a promise that I made during the Perfect Palette tag to come up with some wearable looks using my least used palette, which is the Smoked palette. And you know, the colors in here are absolutely stunning, but I do find them challenging to work with because they are so very dark and so very pigmented. So before I get started with showing you a couple of different looks that I put together, I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about tools, because I think because this palette is very dark and very pigmented, I think you need to be very judicious in the tools that you select to apply your shadows with, especially if you're a little bit older like I am, or if you have a hooded eye, because you have less eye space to work with. So for me, smaller was better. I liked using a very small tapered brush that was not too stiff, so I could really control how much product I picked up. This is the smaller Real Techniques eyeshadow brush, and a little flat brush, and this is a little blending brush, and then of course a little smudgy brush because, you know, they are all going to be smoky-ish kind of look. The other challenge I find with this palette is as you apply them and apply the colors and blend them so you don't have a harsh line, a lot of this kind of shimmery undertone that you see there gets blended away, and then you ended up with kind of like a muddy look, and then all the colors start looking the same, and that was really part of my frustration. So one of the other things that I played around with when working with this palette over the last couple of weeks was just using my fingertip to tap the eye color on, and I found that that would retain some of that glossiness and some of that underlying shimmer that these colors have that bring them to life. So my goal in putting together these looks were looks that I would be comfortable wearing either to work or out to dinner with some friends, something that was not too intense. And I looked to bring out my little booklet that comes with the Smoked palette. I couldn't find it. I may have already pitched it because it is they are very, very dark looks, very heavy looks, and they really, none of those would work for me. So I really had to go in a totally different direction. So this is the lid, all over the lid, and so Kinky all over the lid, Barlust in the crease, and then Loaded on the outer corner, and then a combination of Barlust and Loaded under the eyes. So for this look, I stuck with the two lighter shades and the two brown shades, Barlust and Backdoor. And what I did was I used this under my brow bone and this all over my lid, and the Barlust I put in the crease. And then I just took Backdoor on a really skinny brush and I lined my lash line with the dark matte shade Backdoor. And then I dragged underneath my lashes, I dragged a combination of Barlust and Backdoor to give me a little bit more definition there. And I really was happy with the way this came out. It gives you kind of a nice neutral eye. It's not too much. It's not overdone. So this is actually me at the end of the day. I just touched up a tiny bit before coming on camera, so I was pretty happy with this look. So for this look, I took a slightly different tactic, and I started off with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Sin. And it's one of their colored primers, and it is really just kind of like a champagne-y beige shimmery color. And I put that all over the lid. One of the things I struggle with this palette is that it is so dark. And this is a way to really lighten up those colors and actually make them pop a little bit more. So I used that and the blue color, Evidence, as the accent color. And just a little bit of Kinky at the brow bone. And those are the only colors that I'm using in this look. You could actually use this same technique with either Rockstar or Loaded. Any one of these three brightly colored ones, it would work with any of those. But I wanted to use Evidence because I wanted to try and use as many different colors from this palette for each different. And I forgot to mention, to finish this look off, I used a little bit of the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencil in the color Sabbath, which is like a dark blue, almost purpley color. So for this look, which is probably one of the darkest and smokiest looks that I put together, I started off with taking a kind of a fatter, chunkier brush and putting Freestyle all over my lid, from the lash line to the brow bone. And then I took Bar Lust and put that on the main part of my lid, and Rockstar in the crease. And after I blended them, this is where I used that technique where I went back over them with my fingertip and tapped the color on so that I could retain some of that shimmery glossiness that is in this palette. And then I just underlined the lower lash line with Rockstar and tight lined with the pencil that comes with this palette. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you were inspired to try some new looks with your smoked palette if you have it, or with another palette that has similar colors. If you are interested in seeing more videos like this, please give it a thumbs up and we can select another palette that I can do this with for future videos. And please subscribe, I appreciate that so much, and leave me a comment below. I read every comment people put on here, and I try to respond to all of them as much as I can. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.